Hello everybody and welcome to Roll Stormers, the show where we take a look at the sports programs here at MATC. Today, we're at the Paley Tennis Center to check out the tennis program. Let's get right into it.
At Wauwatosa West High School and Paley Tennis Center, the MATC men's team is preparing to play matches against other colleges in Region 4 of the NJCAA. Having already played 3 matches this season, the Stormers are practicing for their upcoming matches this spring. While busy at work, we got a chance to sit down with the players and coaches for the men's team, as well as the women's tennis player at MATC to talk about their experience in tennis.
For about a year and a half, almost.
Around a year and a couple months.
About 4.5 years now. Started in high school.
For about 3 years now, just over 3 years.
I remember when Coach contacted me, he sent me an email on 2022 on September, I believe. And I was like, sure. Because he's like, oh, I saw you apply for, you're showing interest in for the tennis team and stuff in your application for MATC. And that was on my second semester. And to be honest, when I read that email, I was like, I forgot I applied for tennis team. But I was like, sure, I can go for it.
My high school offered it. Wanted to try something new. It was the only sport I got accepted in, so I started excelling in that. So
I was scrolling the app on the MATC athletic page and seeing that they was having tryouts and just decided to show up.
I just was asked by the head coach at my high school if I wanted to play. He knew I didn't really have a spring sport I wanted to do at my high school. And I knew him. He was a really nice guy. He was a teacher. He was a religion teacher at my school, and he saw me playing volleyball, told me I should go out for the tennis team, and so I did.
I've been playing tennis since I was about 10 or 11 years old, and I've been coaching for about 20 years.
As far as playing, I guess you could say I started kind of late. I started around 12 or 13 years old. I've been coaching tennis for now for 3 years, both at MATC and then also at a private club. So yeah, I mean, I guess you could say a bit of a late bloomer in that sense, but I've always been athletic. I've always been, playing multiple sports. So the transition into a new sport of tennis wasn't too bad.
How did I get my start in coaching tennis? So I started, I was kind of teaching tennis on the side, and then one of the high schools, Wauwatosa West, needed an assistant for part of it, so I volunteered as a volunteer assistant for 1 year, and then they hired me the next year to be an assistant coach at Tosa West.
I knew Mark McCard. He's the head tennis coach at MATC. I knew him from past experiences, and when I heard that there was a opening for an assistant, I texted him, I called him, got in contact with him, and he was glad to kind of get me on the team. Shortly after that, I started privately coaching tennis.
The previous coach at MATC had been a doubles partner of mine in an adult league, and when he was retiring, he contacted me and said, told me he was retiring and he thought that I should apply for the job.
As far as staying invested in the sport, now because it's my job, it's my livelihood at this point, so that's definitely one aspect of it. But at the same time, I love what I do every day. I don't, take many days off. I love being at the club or traveling with the team. So, on top of just the financial gain, I also, love what I do. So it's fun.
I think that I owe a lot to the game because tennis has been a big part of my life as I was growing up. One of the reasons I got into tennis was because between the ages of 5 and 10 I had 5 concussions, and the doctors wouldn't let me play football or basketball or anything because they didn't want me to end up getting another one. So tennis became my sport. So I think without tennis, I'm not sure what I'd have done. So I feel like I kind of owe something to the game. So that kind of keeps me invested. As a coach, I just love to see the progression as players get better as they keep going.
What is the biggest challenge you have faced throughout your playing career?
Probably time management. With tennis, school, working, and then like doing extra, like other hobbies too. It's kind of hard managing it all.
I will say try to keep up with everything that is going in my life right now. But I'm getting used to it for sure. It's just like trying to be organized with my work life, student life, and then the tennis sport life. Basically, try to make a balance between each and every single one of them because it's hard. But I just got to be pretty organized to it.
I've been at times where I've wanted to give up, but obviously I didn't. I'm sticking through it, getting through the hard times, getting through the easy times, just having fun.
The biggest challenge for me has been anger issues. I have always had anger issues in any sport I've played, whether it's something I'm doing wrong, whether I think it's something an official is doing wrong or whatever. Everything would get under my skin and just build up, and I just let it all out. And that's just been a huge challenge because my opponents just see that as a weakness and they attack it, and I play worse when that happens, and I can't play a good match when I am angry. So that's definitely my biggest challenge.
I'm often like the less experienced one, so you can kind of feel when they get tight, them knowing like things that I don't. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's a lot.
Some days you're very in the game. You're very in the mood. You're very into it. And some days you just like off. Some days you don't feel like playing, or I don't know. It's just kind of weird. But focus is everything when it comes to game. Like I'm still learning that part of my life because there's been matches where I just go and I don't feel like playing, and at the end I get to lose, of course, because of that. But sometimes when I'm really into the mood of like being focused in the game, I get to give my best.
You got to be able to like know what you're doing because it can get really tight sometimes, and you have the experience to not get mad at yourself. So, yeah.
I guess just playing every point as if it's a new game. I mean, when it's close, the best way for me to think about it is just to focus on one thing, focus on one rally, focus on one point, one ball, one hit, and just stay focused on the ball and don't stay focused on anything else around me.
Tennis is a sport that takes discipline and mental toughness. As it can take hours to play a match, Coach Jake and Coach Picard speak on staying focused on the mental side during a tough match.
The nice thing about tennis, is that there's no clock. So, when you do get to those hard times, it really isn't over until it is over. So, you know, always having those beliefs in the good things and the positive things, and you know the work that you put in, and kind of, you know, going back on that when you get into those tough situations is always gonna be better for, you know, mentally and actually with the score and everything. So.
Because tennis, just like life, is like a roller coaster. You're going to have ups and you're going to have downs, and you know, hopefully there's more ups than downs. So I always know when things get tough that it's eventually going to get better if you just keep pushing. But if I see a player is struggling mentally with what's going on, I try and take them off to the side and talk to them about, you know, what's going on, what they can do. I try and, you know, teach them little mechanisms they can use to keep themselves mentally in the game. You know, there's different ways that you can kind of, you know, not really deflect, but you can, you know, mentally clear your head so that you can move on. You know, the mistake you make, you can't get back, so you need to be able to move past that and not compound it by having that mistake turn into 2-3 points because you're upset about something that happened 3 points ago.
My players, you know, if they're having a tough match or they're in a tough situation, it's very difficult to convey exactly what I want them to do, just because, you know, I don't know exactly what they're feeling or what they're, you know, what's going through their mind. So, you know, communicating what I want to get done, and also them communicating back to me what they feel, what they need, what adjustments they want to make.
Now, learning to play a sport can be difficult without the right people to help. With CJ, Nolan, Ethan, and Jess having less experience than most at the college level, we wanted to know what has most impacted their growth throughout their tennis careers.
There's a lot of things that a coach can teach you, and a lot of techniques that he can taught you how to get the ball to the other side and get some points, you know, the techniques that they use. But it gets a little bit of time to add those techniques to your game, actually. And against the matches that I have throughout this last year and this year, I would say it's both, because there are people that have been playing for the longest time. They've been playing since they were 4 years old, 7 years old, and people who's been playing since 7 years old, they tell me like, oh, I started late. I'm like, oh, sure, I started last year, bro. So, yeah. But I get to learn from each match, because I try to keep up with their level, but of course I lose every time. But still fun to play against them, because I learn from them as well, even if they don't realize that.
For 2 years, I had a coach who he didn't really know how to coach me. He wanted to change what I was doing, what I learned initially, and he just wanted to change every single bit of my game. So I had to kind of tune all that out and try and learn from my own match playing experience and from other guys, watching what they're doing during the match and just trying to mimic that. But now I'm at MATC, I'm learning a lot more from being coached, since it's just the coaches know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, they know how to fix my technique to get the best out of it, and get me to play the best that I can out of the limited experience that I have.
You can't really understand what's going on while it's happening if you haven't heard what's going on. And you can't, like, without experiencing it, like somebody telling you, you can't really get the feel of it.
What keeps you pulled into the sport when you are facing adversity?
My friends, my coaches, they help me all the time, so yeah.
I just don't like not seeing things through. Like, I don't like giving up. I feel like if you finish something, the worst that can happen is you do a bad job.
The friends that I have through it, the friends I've had through my experience so far, who are now off to college, but in the summer we can just go play, and it just keeps me interested, keeps me involved.
I learned to fall in love with it, because at the beginning I was frustrated because I didn't know so much, and there is people that knew so much more, like the magnitude, the caliber that you can see compared to me and other people who has been playing for Dwalgenstein. But right now I'm just like in love with it. I don't want to miss it, because I'm trying to keep up with other people, and the only way I can do that is by just playing every single day, if it's possible, for sure. There are some days that I don't have to play, but I feel like playing, so I just get a call to my teammates and be like, hey, are you free right now, or in an hour, you know, you wanna get some rackets and stuff? And they're like, oh, sure. And that's when it gets that interaction and between your teammates and the game. It's just like, it's, I wouldn't say an addiction, but it's something that you want to do because it's good for you, actually, and you're just happy doing it.
Now that you know how the players and coaches at MATC got into tennis, it seems like a good time to explain the rules and fundamentals of the sport. We talked on the court with Coach Picard so he can demonstrate the principles and explain the rules of the game.
Tennis is a pretty simple game. It's just a matter of hitting the ball over the net and into the court. One mistake I see a lot of beginners make is that they tend to slap or hit at the ball, where in fact you want to hit through the ball. So my assistant coach Jake is going to demonstrate some forehand and backhand ground stroke. You can see how he came through the ball instead of hitting at the ball. All right, now he's going to show you the backhand. It's going to be a two-hand. And again, going straight through the ball with his arms extending out towards where he wants the ball to go. Tennis is also a very unique sport in that tennis is one of the few sports where the player is also the official. So there's no umpire or referee to make line calls on the court. The players themselves make the line calls, and this goes all the way up to the top levels of college. It isn't until you get to the professional level that they have people to make line calls for you. The inventors of tennis assumed that everybody that was going to play this game was going to be an honest person, so you have to be honest about the line calls, and it tends to even itself out, because if you start making bad line calls, your opponent's going to start making bad line calls, and then it escalates from there. But it is a unique sport in that you're both the player and the official at the same time.
With knowing the rules and the principles of the game, it's time to see what else the players and coaches have to say.
How has being an athlete affected your experience at MATC?
Oh, a lot. I feel like before athletics, it's like you're not really a part of the school. Kind of feel like a job where you're just like showing up and then driving back home or doing whatever you gotta do. But with athletics, it's like something. It's like you start to feel like a part of the school. Yeah.
I get to learn a new sport, and sports are very critical for anybody, because that's the way you get to stay healthy in a way and just stay on track. Because I have seen a lot of people who they are frustrated, they are like trapped in this, I would say like in this box of like stress, and they don't realize that any sport can play a big factor in your life in a positive way, because that's when you get more, I would say, self-esteem up.
I gained some friends before I even started school here, just by showing up to the couple of summer practices we had at the end of the summer before the school year started. So just to have those friends going into it who could help me start that transition into college, help me in learning my pathway. I mean, one of the guys on my team, He's in my major, so just to kind of know someone in the major right away, someone who already understands what I'm going through at that point and what I need to do. So just that extra little help that I had was big.
I've made friends through tennis, and even though like some of the people aren't in the same major as me, it's nice seeing people around, have more faces, and I get like better exercise, I guess, in the day. I get to start my day off with something fun, and I get to do my potential career, which is also really fun, so yeah.
What advice would you give to a young tennis player or just an athlete who's looking to make that next step to college?
Get your body conditioned. Maybe you're in high school, whether it's tennis or any other sport. If you're looking to go to that next level, you need your body conditioned, first of all, just based on the fact that if you can do your sport longer than the other person, especially in tennis, you have a pretty good shot of being successful. Not to say, there isn't work that needs to be done, again, technically and tactically, but making sure that you're getting your sleep, you're eating correctly, you're hydrating, you're making sure you're stretching. That's something that I found out a little bit later, where I was like, yeah, I should have more ice baths, more cold showers, stuff like that. Make sure you're working on your body, and that's that I'm sure that'll be a good idea for any athlete that wants to go from high school to a college level.
A lot of players have a misconception that you have to be like, one of the best in the state to play college tennis. If you've played any, varsity level or even some high JV level in high school, there's a college team that you would fit on. So, just keep going and understand that there is a place for you.
Even if it's not your field, like if you're in high school and you've been playing tennis or playing soccer, don't be afraid to try another sport. Because if you want to keep going to the same sport, go for it. That's cool. And if you want to go for another sport, go for it. Like even if you're not good at it, you learn about it and you get better at it. And college and high school is the opportunity for everybody to start learning that new experience, experimenting a new world of sports. Like there's people who doesn't know how to play basketball and they just want to try, and at the end they just fall in love with the sport. So I'll say try it.
I'd say go for it. It's a lot of fun. It will take a little bit of time to get everything balanced, but it's a lot of fun. You'll end up probably making something of your life, having more friends than you thought you would in college. So yeah, it is not like high school, but you'll have fun.
Don't give up. It's like a hard adjustment at first, but everybody kind of go through that same thing. So if you see it through, like I said, the worst that can happen is, not that bad. Yeah.
If you're going to go and play athletics in college, you have to approach a coach, an athletic director, someone from a college, and just kind of get your foot in the door. And it's not something I did, but I know it's something a lot of my friends have done, is just reach out, make sure they know you're there, give them your skills, have them come out, see you play, and just be ready to be outgoing, be ready to go and get that college experience yourself.
This team means so much to me because it gives me the feeling of being a part of something bigger than myself.
This team means a lot to me because I love spending quality time with my players, seeing them progress on the court, and having fun times off the court as well.
This team means a lot to me because I really care about my players, and I want to see them be successful not only on the tennis court but in life. And I really enjoy seeing players progress as they gain skills and confidence, both on the court and off the court.
This thing, it means a lot to not just me, but all my teammates. It's just a great experience for all of us that we can play against other schools, have those momentums, those dynamic moments that we share, not with just us as a team, but like the moments that we share outside the school, and it is very unique.
This team means a lot to me because of the friendships I've gained through it and the people that are coaching me and playing with me and helping me along the way.
And that's all we have for you today. Thank you everybody for tuning in to Roll Stormers, and we'll see you next time.